Hey, and welcome back to another edition of Fay at 5. I'm LaTangela Fay, your hostess. So you know it always does my heart well to have those in the hot seat and on the tan line that's doing some wonderful things in the capital city, surrounding areas, and around the world to make it a better place. Now, you know, he's no stranger to the community. He is no stranger to the scene. You know, we can sit here with all these accolades and come up with title after title. And I had to ask him, like, okay, so which title do you want to use this interview? You know what I mean? Like, are we using your rap name? We're using an entrepreneur name. Which name are we going to roll with? So we did a mesh, right? So we have the mesh of Charles Lil C London, but of course you can say he's the entrepreneur and the visionary of Kountry Records. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm holding on.
I knew that was the response. I knew it.
You know what? It's 2022. The vision is clear. I think the warm-up is over. We have a game plan. You know, the game plan in this entertainment industry appears to change more often than not. With all of the different roles that you've traveled as an entertainer, how did you even want to become an entertainer? To get a mic in your hand, the lyrics, the art of storytelling, like, how did you know you wanted to do that?
Well, actually, it kind of happened on accident for me.
Really?
Yeah, it was back in 1998. I was, running the streets, and at the time I was a student at the Southern University, but at the same time, I was earning income from different avenues in the street to make, I went to this club. Some of my friends, some guys that I went to school with, they were passing out flyers at the club one night, and they were like, "Well, we having a concert at the club." I said, "A concert in the country? People rapping?" So at the time, locally, all we had at the time, like in this region, was Cash Money No Limit and C-Look.
That's true. That's true.
But so I go to the club, I check them out, their performance, and man, these guys kind of high. I said, they got potential. So I get with them after the club. I say, man, look, I'm going to my lawyer first thing Monday morning, and I'm gonna find out what I gotta do to get a record label. And I want to pursue. I say, y'all got talent. I want to pursue. I want to put some money behind it.
Yeah.
They're like, because I had a little money, at the time, and everybody knew it. So they were like, okay, bet.
And so, of course, look, in hindsight, we're trying to legitimize some of this money too, because if we put it on paper, how we get the paper, it makes sense.
Right. So I go to the lawyer, I talk to him, share my concerns. He tell me what we needed to do. The best route, in his opinion, for me to do would go with the corporation. So I get Kountry Records Incorporated. First we wanted to be Kountry Boy Records, because that was the name that I chose for the group, because that's what they used to call me on campus, Lil Country, a country boy. So I said, whenever I go on campus with these guys and we call ourselves the Country Boys, I mean, I was dating a girl from New Orleans at the time who lived on campus, and I had a lot of people from different areas of the state that knew me on campus. Mm-hmm. And they used to all call me Lil Country. So we wanted to name the label Kountry Boy Records, but we had some problems with the names, and we couldn't get it. We couldn't secure that name. I think some other people had it.
You weren't the only country boy with a record company.
Well, I think it was a Kountry Boy Records, but they were like country and western.
Oh, okay.
So the name, we couldn't use the name. So we tried to spell it in a few different ways. But anyway, to make a long story short, we come up with Kountry Records with a K. So I go to him, I say, look, we need to get y'all in the studio. I go to a producer that a lot of us knew in St. Francisville, which is where I'm from. The only guy that we knew that made nice beats, his name was Big O. He was blind, but he was good making. So we go to him, purchase a track from him, and he tells us, man, y'all need to go to Greg Duke's studio. Never had heard of Greg Duke's at the time.
Greg Duke's is legendary in the streets here. Legendary.
Right. So we go to Greg Duke's studio with the beat, They record their verses, and in the studio, like I was never the rapper. In the studio, I was like, man, let me try to write a verse, because I was always gifted with writing in school, because I was an honor student. I made good grades in English, and I I wrote essays and things of that nature.
Right.
Somewhat of a period, if you can't tell. But so I said, let me try to write a verse too.
Put my gift of gab on a hot 8-track.
Already. So I the verse, and Duke was like, yeah, man, that verse needs to go last. So we recorded the song, and after he mixed it, we take it to Max 94.1. I think the music director at the time was Adrian Long, maybe. The music director, I forgot who the program director was. But we take the song to Adrian Long, and she plays it. She's like, I like that. And mind you, this is our first time in the studio.
Now the mind is blown, and here it is. We have this bug. Kountry Records has gone from an idea, gone from us legitimizing this paperwork and this paper trail to now we are making appointments as an entertainment industry. You know what? I know that with that, you have humble beginnings, but there was a point in time to where your story shifted. And now you have the same story to tell, just a different avenue. And I've got questions that need answers. Is it okay if I get you to stick around for a while?
Got you.
Hey, there it is. I want you to join the conversation. You can't afford to miss it. Hit me up on the Twitter alert at LaTangela Fay, and all of my links are posted at latangela.com. You keep it locked right where you have it. It's Fay at 5. Hi, and welcome back to Fay at 5. I'm LaTangela Fay, your hostess, and we're picking up the conversation with none other than Charles Lil C. London of Kountry Records. We all have a story to tell, and I really enjoy getting the organic feel of everybody who has a test that is now their testimony. You didn't know that you wanted to be a rapper out there running the streets while trying to get educated and learning how to become an entrepreneur in the midst of that. But once you got the taste of fame that came along with becoming a rapper, at some point you decided to change the narrative. When did that come for you? From being the head of Kountry Records out there talking about whatever you were talking about to now on the inspirational leading the congregation versus leading, I don't know, hood-like activities. How did we get there?
Well, it was a variety of things, but one of the motivating factors was me continuing to end up in prison. You know what I mean? We went to Max 94.1 with that song in 1998. We ended up number 1 on I think it was the top 99 or something. They started off putting the song Make It or Break It, and within weeks we were number 1 on Jay Tweezy's show then. I think it was the top 99, and big ups to Master P, because he was running the scene at the time, but they were number 2 with the Make 'Em Say remix in Baton Rouge. So at the time we was like, man, we got to put more money behind it. We got to go hard in the streets. We need more money. This is about to blow. And I found myself, that was in 98, and in 99, I got incarcerated, and I was gone for pretty much 10 years. So I came home.
That's a staycation. 10 years would give you enough time to think a lot of things through. What were some of the things that, in retrospect, you say, man, if I had done this differently, or if I had changed my mind a little sooner?
Ironically, for me, I think the 10 years, that actually didn't get my mind right. I spent the whole 10 years writing raps. I had like a whole notebook full of raps. I came home in October 2008, and I think that's about the time that I met you. You were at the station then. And I came home, and we did a show. I met Nussie at Greg Duke's studio. Nussie, rest in peace, Nussie. Nussie and I did the Return of Kountry Records. Yeah, we did a show out here in the country, and it kicked off. But I ended up being offered a deal for my my album, Dipping the Dunway. And I was in the process of negotiating a deal in 2009, and I got arrested again. And the drugs and alcohol just like they impaired my decision making to a point where I was doing things that were actually irrational and that were actually causing me to end back up in jail. Because like I was actually suffering, like my mental health was the leading cause of me ending back up in jail. So at this point, I'm like, you know, when I went, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this rap thing one more time. And I was still like suffering mentally.
But you realized that you were gifted with this art of storytelling and the ability to move people and to put it together to where the songs would resonate with others, you know. And after you kept hitting this brick wall time and time and time again, making it to the door, and then that door only leading to a revolving sale, you know, now you're in a different space, a different place, and it's a different tone, right? With that, do you feel as if people, artists, or even those who look up to different artists, do you think that they should take those type of stories and learn something from it? And what is the big lesson that you gained from it all?
Well, I think I don't want to like criticize or like talk down on the artist, because I know from experience that a lot of these guys, you know, they come from environments and backgrounds where there weren't many opportunities. If I had to hold anybody accountable for the things in the industry that I don't like, it would be the industry and the record labels, because they you know, they pour tons and tons of money into content that I would say is not in the best interest of our culture and our youth. I can't fault an 18 or 19-year-old guy for taking $1 million check to say things that he really doesn't want to have to say. Like a lot of the times, say and do things that we know will get the money put behind us that we need. But the things that we really want to express, we just kind of put that on the back burner, because we know that we're not going to get the backing of the following from you know, from the fans or the ladies. So
that's true, because that doesn't generate the ratings and the revenue the way that foolishness does, you know. Do you feel as an artist, you know, and I question myself with this often as an artist, a writer, a content curator, do you feel as if it's just the entertainment industry, or do you feel that we are to be held at a higher level as a role model because we understand the importance of our influence?
Well, those of us who do know, and those of us we should be held. Those of us who I feel should be held responsible are those of us who understand and recognize the damage that some of the art is doing to us as a culture and as a race, particularly. But you know, like again, like a lot of these artists, I look at a lot of these artists and I listen to their music from time to time. I'm fans of their talent, but like when I hear some of it, I'm like, man, I wish there was a way that this guy could channel that talent into something that's more constructive and positive. But I know from being on the artist end of it, these guys just trying to get a check. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's why we all go to work. None of us like our jobs. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't say none of us. I know me personally, I go to work, I make a pretty good, I make decent money going to work. But I enjoy going to work sometimes, but there are days that I wish I had a 3-week vacation because, you know, I don't want to have to work the rest of my life.
Because you're human.
Right. So at the end of at the end of the day, I don't think these young men and young women enjoy spreading and proliferating some of the message that they're spreading. But at the end of the day, it's a job, and you got to do what the boss wants you to do. So like we as a industry, like those of us who are in the 30, 40 plus club who have, and I see some of it in the industry. I see P doing it all the time. I see T.I. trying to do it. You know, they're trying to kind of
clean
shift
it up and possibly right some wrongs.
Right, exactly.
I feel that. I feel that. And you know what? I have a lot of questions that need answers. And I feel as if we need to extend this conversation to a round table, get some of the youth involved, and, you know, just have those transparent moments, because it is important, especially now as we're watching the news and we see that all of these headlines, it's about gunplay, it's about retaliation, it's about getting toe tags for Christmas. You know, like there's a lot of things that we're short on, but bullets and toe tags seem not to be on that list. You know, and we have to start having these type of conversations to normalize, you know, saying what's right, what's wrong, what's entertainment, do we know the difference? You know, and I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your schedule. It's your first trip to the madhouse, but promise it will not be your last.
God damn, you holler at me if you know I'm coming. You already
All right.
know.
I know, you know, we're going to be looking for you. So be sure to keep it locked right where you have it. We have more work to do. So you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.